There are moments that divide a life in two, a before and an after. For some, that moment begins with a discovery no one should ever have to make. They walked into an ordinary day, a morning like any other, and then they saw what could never be unseen. In that single instant, time itself fractured. The psychology of finding a body is rarely discussed. It lives in silence, carried by those who stumbled upon death without warning, without preparation. These are not detectives trained for such sights, not medics hardened by years of exposure. These are ordinary people, whose world shattered in a single glance. A jogger on a familiar trail, a neighbour checking on silence that lasted too long, a child wandering where they shouldn't, each one forever marked by what they found. The first response is rarely what we imagine. The mind doesn't scream, it goes quiet. A strange, protective stillness descends, as if reality needs a moment to catch up. Some describe leaving their bodies, watching themselves from above. The psyche, in its ancient wisdom, creates distance from what it cannot yet bear to process. This is dissociation, not weakness, not madness. It is the mind building a wall between the self and an unbearable truth, brick by invisible brick. In those first moments, details become strangely vivid. The pattern on a carpet, the angle of light through a window. The brain records everything except the horror itself. These peripheral memories become anchors. Years later, they can trigger the full weight of that moment. A certain smell, a specific shade of afternoon light. The body keeps the score, as trauma expert Bessel van der Kolk reminds us. What the mind cannot hold, the nervous system carries, sometimes for decades. Many describe a strange calm in the immediate aftermath. They call for help. They answer questions. They appear composed. But inside, something fundamental has shifted. This is shock wearing the mask of functionality. The survival brain taking over while the emotional self retreats to somewhere safer. Somewhere far away. Hours later, the trembling begins. The tears that wouldn't come finally arrive. The body releases what the mind could not safely process in real time. Some feel an irrational guilt, as if finding death made them somehow responsible for it. The mind searches for meaning in meaninglessness, and blame feels like an answer. Others become obsessed with questions they can never answer. Could I have arrived sooner? Was there something I missed? The what-ifs become a prison without doors. Sleep becomes a battlefield. The image returns uninvited. The scene replays in dreams that feel more real than waking life. The mind keeps trying to solve an unsolvable puzzle. Flashbacks are not memories in the traditional sense. They are time loops, the nervous system reliving the moment as if it were happening now, again and again. Hypervigilance often follows. The world that once felt safe now seems filled with hidden dangers. Death could be anywhere, behind any closed door, in any quiet room. Relationships shift in subtle ways. How do you explain to someone what it feels like to carry an image they've never had to see? The loneliness is profound. Some retreat into silence. Others cannot stop talking about it. Both are attempts to process what defies processing. Both are the psyche searching for solid ground. There is often a strange intimacy with the deceased, even if they were strangers. You were the last witness to their existence in this form. That connection haunts. For those who found someone they loved, the trauma is doubled. Grief and shock become tangled together, the image of death competing with memories of life. A son finding his father, a wife discovering her husband. The person they loved becomes inseparable from the worst moment of their lives. Love and horror fused together. Children who make such discoveries carry a particular wound. Their sense of safety, their trust in the predictability of the world, shattered before it fully formed. These children often become hyper-vigilant adults, always scanning for danger, always waiting for the next unbearable surprise. Their nervous systems never quite return to rest. Society rarely knows how to hold these experiences. People ask questions out of morbid curiosity, or they avoid the topic entirely. Neither response helps the one who carries it. There is a loneliness in being the only one who saw what you saw. A secret knowledge that separates you from those who have only encountered death in sanitized forms. Many struggle with places. The location of the discovery becomes charged with invisible weight. Some can never return. Others feel compelled to visit again and again. Time heals, they say. But for these witnesses, time moves differently. Anniversaries approach with dread. Certain seasons feel heavier. The calendar becomes a minefield. Post-traumatic stress is not a sign of weakness. It is the nervous system responding exactly as it was designed to. The problem is not the reaction. It is the event. Healing rarely means forgetting. It means learning to carry the memory without being crushed by its weight. It means creating space between who you were and what you saw. Some find unexpected meaning in their experience. They become advocates for mental health. They reach out to others who have walked the same impossible path. But meaning should never be forced. Some wounds simply hurt. And sometimes, the bravest thing is to let pain be pain, without wrapping it in purpose. If you have found someone, if you carry this weight, know that your reaction, whatever it was human. Your struggle is not a failure. It is proof of your depth. The discovery of death changes us, but it does not have to define us. We are more than our worst moments, more than the images that haunt our quietest hours. There is a kind of courage in continuing to live fully after witnessing the end of another life, in choosing to remain open when every instinct says to close down. You did not choose what you saw, but you can choose how you carry it forward. With shame, or with the quiet dignity of someone who has looked into darkness and survived. To everyone who has made this unbearable discovery, you are not alone. Your experience is valid. Your pain is real. and your capacity for healing is greater than you know. If this reached something deep within you, consider subscribing. We explore the unspoken corners of the human experience together. Share your story when you are ready.